Okay, here is a attorney misconduct complaint from the State Bar of California. It's an online application. It is dated April 19, 2025, and it is against this guy who's only been an attorney for about 5 years, BRIAR Andrew Horn. His license number is 330215. Okay, and it says, complaint to the State Bar before? No. Or did you hire the attorney? No. Did the complaint involve allegations of theft or misappropriation of funds? Absolutely. Did this complaint involve allegations of attorney misconduct against a person 65 years or older who died of cancer? Yes, absolutely. Did this complaint involve misconduct against a person 65 or older? Yes. And finally, did this complaint involve allegations of misconduct against a person who is incapacitated, infirm, disabled, incarcerated, immigrant, or minor? Yes. Okay, so why don't we just go, and it says, does this complaint involve allegations of an attorney who provided or was supposed to provide services related to immigration? No. Are you an attorney? No. And it says, enter the amount of money paid. Okay, so this is not as long as the other one, but this is related to the previous one. Okay, so why don't we just read this, get this over with here. Okay, so hold on. Whoops. I'm going to turn the phone around. Maybe we could just get this out of the way. Okay, so this is BRIAR Horn, license number 330215, and this is complaint filed April 19th, and here's what it says. Listen carefully, please. I am a senior citizen, and this attorney, who was licensed in 2020 and is probably 25 years old, filed a motion to designate me a vexatious litigant in probate case number RP 221-20163. It looks like it's a typo there. In that case, I'm a beneficiary in my late cancer-stricken brother's trust, and BRIAR Horn represents two people who illegally purchased my brother's half of the $2 million house at 1810 Grant Street in Berkeley, California, 94703. His clients purchased the $1 million worth of real estate for $82,000, deal of the century, and BRIAR Horn filed the grant deed in the recorder's office with his name on it, claiming that the property was transferred for no consideration. The grant deed, the recorder's office, was named on no consideration. That's what the grant deed said. However, BRIAR Horn filed documents in the case that the transfer of the property was made for $82,000. As a result of the illegal transfer of the property for $82,000, my beneficial share in the trust and I'm elderly, and my two elderly poor sisters' beneficial share of the trust as well has never materialized. And now it's 5 years later after our brother died, and we have gotten nothing but a few $1,000s 5 years ago as emergency stipend for food during the pandemic. But thanks to BRIAR Horn, it says, but thanks to BRIAR Horn's lying under oath in the probate to the probate judge, who is 75 years old herself and has to handle every single trust case in the entire Alameda. Okay, hold on. The entire county of Alameda of 1.6 million people. He lied under oath in declarations and in points and authorities that I had filed 30 lawsuits in the last 5 years. He blatantly lied because he made a list of lawsuits he wrote down as 30 separate lawsuits reprinted. But what he did is he repeated the same ones. It was only 4 different case numbers, but he repeated them and put them all together and made it 4 look like 30. Okay, under oath. That's not right. As a result, the judge in the probate court designated me a vexatious litigant based on the attorney of 4 years, who's not 25 years old. His false accusations under oath that I filed 29 lawsuits when I only filed 4. He took the same 4 lawsuits and he reprinted them over and over again to make the 4 lawsuits look like 29. I objected to evidence, and the judge was too busy and overworked and probably suffered low oxygen because people 75 years old. She turned around and made me a vexatious litigant, so he should pay for my attorney's fees right now because I can't afford the attorney's fees but I have an appeal currently in the First District Court of Appeals about his fraudulent prejudice testimony that has resulted in me, as a senior citizen, being falsely designated as a vexatious litigant. In his declaration under oath and under penalty of perjury that William John Rogers joined him, so he's in on it also. He made the perjurious claim that I filed 30 lawsuits in the last 5 years is simply not true, and he also represents the same clients that he legally purchased the property. He represented them in their illegal attempts at evicting me beginning in 2022 in Alameda County, when the sheltering place orders and the eviction moratoriums were still in full effect. They tried to evict me. I was almost 64 at the time. Now I'm going to be 66 in a few weeks, and that eviction resulted in me having a 7-year eviction against my record in a $15,000 judgment. Not $1,000, but $15,000 judgment. Okay, I'll read this fast. And that eviction was based on the illegal sale of my late brother's half interest in the $2 million house I mentioned to Mr. Horn's clients for $82,000, and my brother's half of the house was so specifically forbidden from purchasing my brother's half. These two individuals that bought it were specifically not allowed to file in the recorder's office completing the illegal transfer. That was BRIAR Horn. That was forbidden by my brother's trust in case number RP 221-20163. All right? And Alameda County, and then he proceeded to represent them in the eviction against me. And the eviction action was taken, Alameda County, and he proceeded to represent the eviction action against me, and I received a threatening letter from another attorney saying if I didn't leave in 2 months, that my sisters and I will never get a penny. Okay, how do you like that? Nothing surprises you anymore, I know. So he's specifically forbidden from purchasing the property for $2 million. Case number RP 221-20163, and Alameda County eviction moratorium was even lifted before. Oh God, I'm falling asleep here. Eviction on my record. I lost the eviction battle and I had to leave the apartment. Now I have a 7-year record against my name, which is making it impossible for me to find employment, which is making it impossible for me to purchase property, it's making it impossible for me to rent an apartment, or get a good job in the medical field, because they don't want people with issues. The damage against me as a result of this attorney's actions is a horrendous, vicious, sadistic elder abuse, and he should be barred immediately because I'm falling asleep here. Because he is not fit to be an attorney. His character is other than the character that needs to practice law in the United States. They manipulated my brother. My brother had cancer 6 years. He was in a coma the last 6 months of his life, getting declaimed that he did. Okay, you get the picture. They manipulated my brother. My brother had cancer 6 years. He was in a coma the last 6 months of his life. Still declaimed that he wrote both trust, and he said he's going with the second one. See, I'm falling asleep, but you get the picture.